Hello adventurers, and welcome back to Travel Our Planet. What if I told you there's a country that's home to the cradle of humanity, where ancient kings carved entire churches out of solid rock, and where you can stand on the edge of a bubbling lava lake? This is not a fantasy world. This is Ethiopia, a country often called the Land of Origins. It's a place of profound history, vibrant culture, and some of the most dramatic landscapes on Earth. In the next few minutes, we're embarking on an epic journey. I'm going to show you the essential places you must visit, from the historic north to the adventurous south, and I'll share all the practical tips you need, from food and costs to safety, to make this incredible trip a reality. So, buckle up. Our adventure in Ethiopia begins now. Our journey begins in the legendary historic north, the classic route for anyone wanting to understand the soul of Ethiopia. And there's no better place to start than Gondar, the Camelot of Africa. In the 17th century, Emperor Fasilides established this city as his capital, ending a long period of nomadic rule. The result is the Fasel Gebi, a royal enclosure filled with magnificent castles and palaces. Walking through here, you can see this stunning blend of African, European, and even Indian architectural styles. A true testament to Gondar's past glory as a crossroads of culture. But the real treasure of Gondar for me is the Debre Birhan Selassie Church. From the outside, it looks quite humble, but when you step inside, you understand why it's so revered. Every inch of the interior is covered in breathtaking murals depicting biblical stories. And the ceiling? It's famously adorned with the faces of 80 cherubs, each with a unique expression, watching over you. It's an experience that leaves you completely speechless. From Gondar, we travel further back in time to Aksum, the heart of an empire that was once one of the four great powers of the ancient world, standing alongside Rome, Persia, and China. These are the great stelae of Aksum, giant single-stone obelisks, some over 1,700 years old, marking the tombs of Aksumite kings. The sheer scale of them is just hard to comprehend. Standing at their base, you can't help but wonder, how did they carve them with such precision? And how on earth did they raise them? Aksum is also the most sacred site in all of Ethiopia. The Church of St. Mary of Zion compound is believed by over 60 million Ethiopian Orthodox Christians to house the most famous religious relic in history, the Ark of the Covenant. No one is allowed to see it, as it's protected in a special chapel, guarded by a single virgin monk who is chosen for life and is never allowed to leave the grounds. The mystery and the palpable faith surrounding this place are incredibly powerful. Whether you are a believer or not, if there is one place that defines the wonder of Ethiopia, it is Lalibela. This isn't just a collection of buildings, it's a miracle carved in stone, often called the eighth wonder of the world. These churches were not built. They were excavated. In the 12th century, 11 monolithic churches were hewn directly out of the solid volcanic rock of the mountain, connected by a disorienting maze of tunnels and passages. The entire complex was designed to be a new Jerusalem for those who could not make the pilgrimage to the Holy Land. To this day, it remains a living, breathing center of Christian pilgrimage. The feeling of walking through these dark, cool, subterranean tunnels, hearing only the echo of your own footsteps, and then emerging into the sunlight to see another colossal church before you. It's a deeply spiritual and humbling moment. To walk these paths is to walk in the footsteps of 9 centuries of devotion. But Ethiopia's wonders aren't just man-made. Just a short journey from Gondar lies the Simien Mountains National Park, rightly nicknamed the Rooftop of Africa. This is a trekker's paradise. The views are simply mind-blowing, with jagged volcanic peaks and escarpments that drop thousands of feet into the valleys below. And it's home to some truly unique wildlife. You'll see huge troops of gelada baboons, often called bleeding heart monkeys, grazing peacefully on the cliffs. They are found nowhere else on Earth. You might also spot the rare and majestic Valia ibex, a wild goat that expertly navigates these sheer cliffs. From the mountains, we fly to the nation's capital, Addis Ababa. It's a sprawling, energetic city of contrasts. Here, at the National Museum of Ethiopia, you can meet Lucy, our 3.2 million-year-old ancestor whose discovery reshaped our understanding of human evil. Then, you can visit the magnificent Holy Trinity Cathedral, an immense and beautiful church that serves as the final resting place of Emperor Haile Selassie. And for a taste of real city life, you have to dive into the organized chaos of one of Africa's largest open-air markets. It's a sensory overload in the best way possible. Next, we head east to Harar, the fourth holiest city of Islam. It is a fortified, medieval city that feels like a different world entirely. A UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's a maze of 368 narrow winding alleyways, packed with colorful homes and over 80 mosques. Getting lost here is part of the magic. But Harar is most famous for an unbelievable nightly ritual. For generations, the hyena men of Harar have been feeding wild hyenas by hand. It's an ancient tradition born from a legend of making peace with the animals. It's a bond between man and a wild predator that is both terrifying and beautiful to witness. And yes, I did it too. It's an adrenaline rush you will never forget. For the truly adventurous, Ethiopia's south and far north offer experiences on another level. The Omo Valley is a living cultural mosaic, home to a stunning diversity of indigenous tribes. You'll meet communities like the Morsi, known for the large clay-lit plates worn by the women, and the Hamar, famous for their bull-jumping ceremony, an intense rite of passage for young men. Visiting here is a profound, humbling experience that must be done with a responsible and respectful local guide. And finally, we go to the most extreme place on our list, the Danakil Depression. This is one of the lowest, hottest, and driest places on planet Earth. It's an alien landscape of bubbling sulfur springs and acid pools that paint the ground in impossible shades of green, yellow, and orange. You can witness the Afar people mining salt by hand from the vast salt flats, using camel caravans in a tradition that has not changed for centuries. The ultimate prize here is summiting the Erta Ale volcano at night to gaze into one of the world's few permanent lava lakes. This is not a trip, it's a full-blown expedition, and it's absolutely unforgettable. Okay, you're inspired. You want to go? But what do you need to know? Let's break down the essentials. First, the food and coffee. You will eat a lot of It's a spongy, slightly sourdough, flatbread that serves as the base, the plate, and the utensil for every meal. It's used to scoop up delicious stews called wats. You'll find everything from Doro wat, a rich and spicy chicken stew that's considered the national dish, to Misir wat, a delicious and hearty red lentil stew. But even more important than the food is the coffee. Ethiopia is the birthplace of coffee, and the coffee ceremony is a vital part of the culture. It's a social ritual of roasting the green beans over coals, grinding them by hand, and brewing the coffee 3 times in a traditional clay pot called It's an honor to be invited, and an experience you absolutely must have. The best time to visit is during the main dry season, from October to January. The country is beautifully lush and green after the rains, and the temperatures are pleasant for touring. Now, what about the cost? Ethiopia is more affordable than Europe or North America, but it's not a super low budget destination, especially for the historic circuit. A good mid-range budget would be around $100 to $150 US per day. This would cover a private car with a driver and guide, comfortable mid-range hotels, and all your meals. You can certainly do it for less if you use public transport, or spend much more for luxury. The country is huge, so for long distances like from Addis Ababa to Lalibela, the best and most efficient way to travel is to fly with Ethiopian Airlines. They have an extensive domestic network. For exploring regions on the ground, hiring a private car with a local guide is highly recommended. It gives you flexibility and invaluable insight into the culture and history. For visas, most nationalities can, and should, apply for an e-visa online before they travel. It's a simple process and saves you a lot of time at the airport. Finally, a word on safety. Like any country, it's important to be smart and aware. While Ethiopia has faced some internal conflicts in certain border regions, the main tourist circuits we've talked about today are generally considered safe for travelers. However, the situation can change. It is absolutely essential that you check your home country's official government travel advisories before you book and right before you fly. This is a non-negotiable step for planning any trip here. Ethiopia is not just a destination, it's a journey through time, a lesson in faith, and an adventure for the soul. From the rock-hewn churches of Lalibela to the fiery heart of the it's a country that challenges you, inspires you, and ultimately changes you. It's a place that gets under your skin and stays with you long after you've left. Here at Travel Our Planet, we believe it's one of the most rewarding travel experiences you can have. If this video inspired you to consider your own Ethiopian adventure, please hit that like button and subscribe for more journeys to incredible places. And I have to ask, let me know in the comments, Which of these amazing places would you visit first? Thanks for watching, and keep exploring.